Are you ready? Tell me you're ready.
All right, well, Facebook can be fun, used properly, and then sometimes we get ourselves into trouble with that. And Mark Zuckerberg steps up and says, come on, people, stop being so gullible. And he puts another couple of words in there as well. He's talking about the copy and paste of privacy issues and stuff. Forget about it. It's not real, okay? And all you got to be worried about is clicking on the right things that you want your privacy to be settings to. And if you want to read the whole thing, go ahead. Otherwise, I guess if you're on Facebook, you're just putting yourself out there, right? Also, the Loblaws cards and the free Tim Hortons cards and stuff, not real. If it's ending in a .xyz or not a dot whatever you don't recognize, probably not a good idea to share it, all right? So be careful out there on Facebook. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show this week into episode 204. And as always, I'd like to thank you for stopping by and saying hello and seeing what's happening here in Sarnia-Lambton. And speaking of what was happening this past weekend, we were invited to be a part of Race to Erase here in Sarnia-Lambton. In fact, the 10th year for Race to Erase. We were one of the many events. People had to be an interviewer and a host, and they come up with some pretty fun and interesting things. And 59 teams in all. It was a record number of teams involved. They were hoping for 50. They got more. So congratulations to the organizers of Race to Erase and a community coming together, all different types of nonprofit and charities being supported throughout this. And we'll have some follow-up information on the numbers of Race to Erase. So congratulations, Race to Erase. Looking forward to being a part of it again next year. Also, the Victoria Playhouse in Petrolia has announced its 2016 season of events. And you want to find out all about that, go to the vpp.ca. I promise you we'll have some very cool and exclusive spotlight interviews, so keep watching for that. All right, well, in the meantime, let's get out to the entertainment scene. Here we go. This week on the entertainment scene, Eli Martin is Marinol Nation, and he's got his third CD finally out. It was recorded at DNA Studios here with Adam Miner and friends here in Sarnia. And Eli and I have been trying to hook up for quite some time. We finally pulled it off. So we were invited down to Eli's home to talk to him about Field of Dreams, it's called. Here it is. We've got this right here. We're going to be giving away a copy of this as well. But right now, let's go out to the entertainment scene and talk to Eli Martin. Well, this week out in the entertainment scene, I'm real happy we finally caught up with this fellow because we've been trying for some time, and he's finally onto his third album that we finally caught up with him. Eli Martin, thanks for being here.
Oh, you're welcome, Dave. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, and Marinol Nation, and the latest album out right now and available downtown at Cheeky Monkey. You're really excited about this one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Tell people what it's called. And
it's called Field of Dreams, and it's basically the last couple of years of my life dressed up a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's exaggerated here and there a little. And it's, I don't know, we're calling it folk punk.
Folk punk, okay.
But the three albums, they've been kind of all over the place.
Right.
But this one, we've kind of worked on the guitar sounds and the tones a bit more.
Okay.
And we're tightening up as far as maybe the genre.
So
listen to it and you'd find out.
Yeah, okay.
You know, whether it's.
So how would you compare this album, say, compared to the last two, the first two that you did?
Well, we're all getting better at our game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't start playing guitar till I was 42. I'm 55 now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, you know, the first one, the singing was probably a little bit more auto-tuned than the last one.
Right. So where does your music come from? Like, you know, some people say, oh, my dad played and so and so. What got you interested in doing that at 42 to learn how to play?
Just my life and trying to deal with it, I guess.
Right.
And I'd written like poetry type stuff in my 20s, and I always had the music in my head.
Right.
And then I was on disability, and I figured if I was going to make it to 40, that was a big deal. And then I reached 40, and I thought, what am I going to do now?
Yeah. Now, this was also done at a local studio, DNA Studios.
DNA Studios, Adam Miner.
So how long did that, what kind of process was that? How long did it take to get this together?
Oh, well, it took us probably a good year in the studio or so.
Yeah. Because I do remember when
over
you first
a year.
started talking about it.
Because there's just time lapses. Everybody's got lives and stuff, so
it gets in the way sometimes.
Got to kind of wait and stuff. But it was good because we tightened up on the songs, and Adam and I had more time, Brendan, as far as, you know, with the guitar tones again, and how we were going to deal with
and how does that
changing little things.
What's that
here
progression? Because, you know, Adam Miner's very good at giving direction and suggesting. He's like a director producer. He wears a lot of different hats.
Yeah.
How did it go? What am I trying to say? Where did it start and how did it end up? What was the changing in the process?
Well, I mean, I bring in the lyrics and the chords and stuff, and we'll do pre-production and then track the stuff, like where we actually play the instruments in the studio and sing and whatever. And then we go from there to the editing. And I guess Adam's more with the editing, and choosing which stuff. And obviously, And then we go from there as far as, but I'm in there watching while he's doing these things.
Perfect. Yeah, it's really nice too that this is available in Sarnia, downtown at Cheeky Monkey.
Yeah,
and Marion and Roland down there, always great supporters of local. So it's great that you're able to
trying to do all local. Like it's a Carter guitar, and I have a amp from Rick Steves, a home wrecker.
Right.
Yeah, trying to support locals. So.
Perfect. Right on. Yeah. Well, congratulations on the new album.
Can I just say there's a show. There's a show that we're having on October 24th to support the album, and it'll be at the Trinity Saturday. Yes. And hope you can come out and enjoy it. And we're also doing the show, hopefully, myself and Matt Juresi in the States.
Oh, okay,
at some
perfect.
point too.
Well, we'll get that information and we'll make sure we tell all the viewers. Once again, Eli, thank you so much. And yes, we're going to get down there to see them at the Trinity, and you can go down to Cheeky Monkey and buy their latest album for Marinol Nation. Let's go back.
Weird Neighbors is opening for us.
Who's that?
Weird Neighbors.
Weird Neighbors. Okay, I haven't heard of that.
Another Sarnia band.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Well, we'll have to get them on the show.
Up and coming, just to let you know too. You should. Yeah. Okay.
Right on. There you go. Lots happening. Once again, Eli Martin here on the show. Let's go back to the studio and tell you those dates once again. All right, Eli Martin from Marinol Nation. Thank you, Eli, for welcoming us into your home and talking to us about the latest CD of Marinol Nation, once again called Field of Dreams. There we have it. I'm going to be giving away a copy of this on the Facebook fan page at some point, so keep an eye out for that. Or you can just go downtown to Cheeky Monkey here in Sarnia and get your copy of Field of Dreams. Thank you so much, Eli, and looking forward to more of Marinol Nation coming up in the future. All right, well, now going out into the community, Stopgap. Yes, Natalie Normand from Stopgap is going to talk to us about exactly what it is and how you can get involved to help stop the gap. Let's go out into the community. Here's Natalie Normand. This week out in the community, breaking barriers in Sarnia-Lambton and Stopgap. And here to tell us all about that is Natalie Normand. How you doing, Natalie?
Good, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Stopgap and breaking barriers. First, tell everybody what your title is with all that.
So I'm project coordinator for Breaking Barriers to Business. I run the program in the community.
Okay. And what is Stopgap? This isn't an original idea that you come up with, but you found it and brought it to Sarnia.
Yeah, this came from Toronto. Founded about 5 years ago after a community member had an accident and lost his mobility, and then suddenly found all his local haunts he couldn't access anymore.
Yeah.
And he happened to be a civil engineer and said, I can fix this. And so he started building ramps for single steps. So that's and then after doing it a couple times, he thought, I bet a bunch of communities can benefit from this.
Certainly.
So he put together this handbook, posted it online, and said, it's free. Take my knowledge, take my lessons learned. Here's how you fundraise. Here's the successes we've had. Go build ramps. And so because the accessibility community is so tightly knit, it came across my desk, and I thought this is exactly what Sarnia needs.
Yeah. So how long has it been around Sarnia?
In Sarnia, we started in June or July. So we've been fundraising.
Okay, so fairly new.
Yeah, it's super new. And the idea is to just fundraise enough money to build the ramps, go find the businesses who need them, build them, and then that's it. So once we do our second build, which will be mid-October, then we'll take a break with Stopgap. So anyone who's looking for a ramp should give me a call as soon as possible.
Now let's talk about the ramps, though, because I know that some people in the community have been concerned about because you suck at building things, you said, right?
Yeah, I don't.
So
I don't build the ramps.
You're not the one building them, right?
No.
So who's building these for you?
We partnered with Dixon Construction, who have been amazing. They did all the labor. They've got all the tools, so we've also got very qualified people handling the saws. And then the handbook that's given to us by the Stopgap Foundation from Toronto has really explicit rules about what kind of materials to use. So the paint is not just a random coat of paint. It's called Bear's Deck Over. So
it needs to be non-slip.
Non-slip, yeah. So if you touch that, right, you wouldn't want to necessarily fall. They've always got handles on them because a lot of citizens are worried about tripping. So we make sure there's handles on both sides, so they're easy to pick up and store out of tripping hazards, and they're always bright too to see that.
So really, there's a lot of thought has gone into this. It's not just put some wood together and slap it down here.
And
Here
hope
you
for the
go.
best. They've done a lot of
Right.
trial and error, and luckily we get to benefit from that.
So how does somebody reach out to you, and who would reach out to you?
So there's the best way to reach out for us is through our website, stopgapsarnia-lambton.ca.
Okay.
We're also on Facebook and Twitter if you're social media savvy. And people want to reach out to us either who want to volunteer, because we're going to be building hopefully lots of ramps in October.
Yeah.
So we need painters and gluers
Okay.
and sanders. So there's a form on our website they can fill out. And any businesses who really want ramps, because we've fundraised a lot of money and we want to give them to the community, to also fill out a form on our website to say, hey,
Okay.
I have a step, come build one for me.
Well, it's awesome. What a great idea. And the response so far seems to be going very well.
Super positive, yeah. Almost too good, because how many things are really free anymore, especially for small
Yeah.
businesses. So
There are things that are free. I call it free 99.
yeah.
Right. It's out there.
So literally we've taken care of the money and the community has come together to donate because it's to improve businesses for everybody.
Right.
So it takes just a quick measurement of your step, and then we build it for you, and we put a poster up in your door. So there's no other commitment than that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Natalie, thank you
Yeah.
so much for
Thanks
sharing
very
all
much
that
for coming.
information. We're going to go back to the studio now and tell you more about Stopgap and why you need to reach out to them. Be a volunteer and get one of these for your local business. Let's go back to the studio right now. All right, Natalie Normand. We were having a great time putting the interview together for everybody. So thanks, Natalie, for making it fun. And reach out to Natalie Normand. She wants to hear from you and talk to you more about Stopgap and how you can get involved if you're an individual who'd like to volunteer for Stopgap, or if you're a business here in Sarnia. And I should say beyond Sarnia, Sarnia-Lambton. So if you're Forest, Petrolia, anywhere in Sarnia-Lambton, Stopgap wants to hear from you. So reach out to them once again. And thank you again, Natalie Normand, for being here on the show. And we'll look forward to hearing more about the Stopgap project. All right, well, if you do this, then you could do that, and then if you could do this, and then maybe that, and yes, all right. Okay, I'll let the right guy explain it. Let's go to apps with Mark Russell.
Thanks, Dave. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim. This week we look at If on apps with Mark Russell. If is an app that gives you creative control over the products and apps you already love. With If, you create recipes that run automatically in the background. These are powerful connections with one simple statement. If this, then that. Recipes are the connections that you and other users can make between your apps and products. Channels are the basic building blocks of the recipes, and each channel has its own triggers and actions. Right now there are 227 channels, like Facebook, LinkedIn, weather, or even Hue light bulb. The If part of an If recipe is the trigger. Some examples of triggers are if you're tagged in a photo on Facebook, or if you check in somewhere on Foursquare. The then part of an If recipe is the action. Actions like then send an email, or then make a status update on Facebook. The pieces of data from the trigger are called ingredients. For example, the ingredients of an email trigger could be the subject, the body, an attachment, the time received, or even the email address of the sender. Your If recipes can be turned on and off, and when you turn them back on, they pick up like they've just been installed. Most of the If recipes check for new data every 15 seconds, some are even faster. If is available for free on Android and iOS. This has been Apps with Mark Russell.
Well, there's a reason why he does that, because he's better at explaining those things than I am. Mark Russell is here every week talking about a new app for your phone, and if you'd like to say hello to Mark, all you got to do is send him an email to info@markrussellsarnia.com. And I can tell you, I use If, this, then that. It makes my life a whole lot simpler. When you're doing a lot of social media, it really is a big help. So if you're doing that, check it out for sure. And you'd be surprised, just go check it out anyway. You'd be surprised some of the things you can do, like when I get to this location, this happens, and it's pretty cool. So once again, Mark Russell, thank you so much for being here, and we'll look forward to seeing what Mark's got for us next week. Well, now it's Sarnia-Lambton video events calendar time. Some cool things happening here in Sarnia-Lambton, so turn it up, take a look, and here we go. All right, there's your Sarnia-Lambton video events calendar for this week, and thanks to everybody for sending in your events. And if you've got an event you want on here, reach out to me on Facebook. There. I didn't say the usual, the show at davidburrows.ws. You can still do that if you want, but Facebook's more fun, right? So get it to me. We'll get it out. Also know that the video events calendar is also a separate segment. Every Monday, you will see the Sarnia-Lambton video events calendar on my Facebook page and also on our network at thevideoshownetwork.com or tvsn.ca. So there you go. Keep an eye on what's happening in Sarnia-Lambton. Speaking of what's happening in Sarnia-Lambton, just before we go, I'll remind you the future combat stars of MMA is returning to Sarnia at Rustic on October the 17th. Tickets still available for that, but going very, very quickly. They sold out last time, so don't wait much longer for that. I'm super excited to be invited back to be the cage announcer once again for this event. Again, it's the future combat stars of MMA. Check them out online for sure. And if you're an MMA fighter, or fan, I should say, you're going to want to get down there and check this out, October the 17th. Also, First Friday coming up this Friday, First Friday, of course, in October. And want to say a special hello to our friends El Camino, who have been on the show before, but they're going to be back at Cheeky Monkey performing for First Friday, so say hello to them as well. Also, local entertainer Adam Hobbs has got a show coming up. It's called Adam Hobbs and Friends down at the Sarnia Public Library Theater. And we're going to have a special spotlight interview with Adam coming up in the next few days, so keep an eye out for that. Wow, lots going on. Just because summer's over doesn't mean it slows down around Sarnia-Lambton, does it? That's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. And I will see you next time right here on the show. Bye-bye for now.